Hey, thanks for joining us. This is kind of a very subdued version of
What's it good for?
Well, I said subdued, and you just got all animated.
All right, let's
there.
Take two.
No, we got to leave the first one in and show them how it's really done when we're in subdued mode. We're here for another subdued edition of
What's It Good For?
I'll be playing the part of Alec Baldwin here, and
I'm going to do
the two NPR ladies.
I'm going to do the late night radio DJ. We're going to play that music that you want to hear.
So the subject today, dimming is dead. Well, you've probably heard that. And
say it isn't true.
Well, in a lot of ways, companies that didn't innovate and they just kept pushing their dimming systems and their 96-channel racks of dimming, they're not doing well. But you know what's interesting is dimming is not only not dead, it probably won't be dead in our lifetime, and I'll tell you why.
Was that clickbait? Was that clickbait? Dimming is dead. But then you go, but it's really not dead.
It was just
clickbait. This is like verbal clickbait. I like it.
I've never heard of that before. Thank you for illuminating the subject. Anyway, and here's what we're talking about. 20 years ago, you were in a rock band, and what did you have?
We had a bunch of park hands. You had a bunch of big dimmer packs. They called them the 100K racks.
Oh my gosh,
100,000 watts, and you'd have 70 to 100 park hands.
Every
up there.
park hand was a heater.
Yep.
And you playing in the summer indoors, 1,000-watt park hand. You had 60 of those. That was 60,000 watts of heat being generated.
We called them burger warmers.
It was horrible.
Yes.
Anyway, traditional dimming. Well, when LEDs came out, LEDs don't dim in the traditional sense. Color Kinetics, Philips.
Yes.
Color Kinetics invented.
Credit to them.
Yep, a way to dim LEDs, and it's done with pulse. So you're not resisting electricity. If you cut electricity to an LED, it doesn't dim; it just stops.
It shuts off.
At some point, it just shuts off. So what we see as dimming is done through a different technology. So traditional dimming is, for the most part, dead.
Yes.
As far as anything that you're seeing LED. But what we're seeing is a resurgence of traditional lighting being applied within, commercial buildings, theaters, where you have a chandelier, the Edison bulb, where the filament is visible and it's very popular, and it's artsy and it's cool looking. Well, anything incandescent needs dimming. Any LED that is retrofitted requires dimming, and it will work with a traditional dimmer because there's actually electronics within the LED.
They make amazing LED bulbs now that are dimmable, that look like a Edison bulb.
Yep, and those require dimming. When you are going in a traditional fixture, you're not going to find a chandelier with XLR in and XLR out for dimming. It's just we don't see that happening anytime soon. Actually, I don't think I'll see that in my lifetime.
No, I don't think that's a business opportunity missed.
When you set up for your LED lighting, you still need, in many cases, which we do, dimming. And the dimmer we go to most is the Lightronics. Lightronics, good story. This because Lightronics come on, you were with me since the beginning.
I was with you they were the first company that you ever signed up for.
They were our very first dealership. We sold Lightronics when no one in Tennessee was a dealer, and we sold it nationally.
And it's the product I've sold the longest here, because when I first started, that was the only dimming we had, period, I believe.
Yeah, it was. It was our first line. Yeah. We started selling it. That's when we were still in the music business, running a recording studio, and started selling dimmers way back. Yeah, damn.
The electricity had been created about a month before we started.
Yeah. So it was pretty cool. So we had Lightronics, and so our relationships goes way back with them. And, well, without getting off topic, they make an architectural dimmer called the AR602, which is 6 channels, and the AR1202. And it's Triac dimming technology. Triac dimming is just a different technology in dimming. Other than the original rheostats, those big, giant transformers that when you pull the levers, you heard the electric, the vibration stuff as it dimmed. Triac, very efficient dimming. Somebody explained it's pretty cool. You like this, like
Okay.
waterfall, and you're sticking your hand in the water. So every time you put your hand in, you get water. Well, the more you put your hand under the waterfall, the more water you get. Well, that's a kind of a simplistic way of explaining Triac dimming. When the thing is high, your hand is almost always in the water. As you start dimming and getting down lower,
Slower and slower.
it's just putting your hand into the water less and less, getting less electricity, hence dimming the light. Well, it actually works really, really well for LED lights as well. But look, we just did a job down in Navarre, Florida, Gulf Point Latin School, where 90% of the building is LED. But they wanted some traditional sconces and chandeliers. So we put in some AR 602s, two of them in there, DMX controllable, and beautiful dimming. It works seamlessly with all the LED lights and integrates fully. And it is an UL listed approved dimmer that has been around for so many years. It's rock solid.
I was going to
trust
say,
it.
I can tell you in all the years I've worked here, I have never had a Lightronics dimmer ever, like, break.
No, they don't fail. They're tanks.
Blow a fuse, possibly.
Well, you don't need the big racks anymore. You're not going to ever need 96 channels of dimming unless you're a hippie and you just won't let go of source 4 pars and ellipsoidals and your old...
Yeah, but hippies are all into saving the planet, so I don't think
that
that's going
doesn't
to
save
happen.
the planet.
It does not save the planet.
That is miserable.
Have you ever seen those movies where, somebody turns on the lights on their house and the meter starts to spin? You turn on one of those 100K racks and that...
Well, didn't Chevy Chase do that and the whole thing exploded?
Christmas Vacation.
Christmas Vacation.
That's kind of like what turning on one of those racks does, so it's crazy.
Yeah, so hip hip hooray for LEDs. We love LEDs because it's the best thing that could have ever happened to lighting. But incandescent dimming is not dead and probably won't be
in our lifetime. Or before we're too codgery to...
Yeah, and it's not a technology thing. Just so you know, it's not like we're waiting to invent something new so it goes away completely. People still buy 50s muscle cars and fix them up. People like retro items. They like things that remind them of simpler days.
Yeah.
Well, an Edison lamp is still a beautiful thing.
It is.
And chandeliers with microfilaments, little condo lamps.
It's a warmth you can't get.
It's a warmth you're still not there with LED. The way LEDs actually are designed, you're not going to get there with a standard LED because LED only emits light from one side of the chip.
Yep.
So you'd have to create something so unique. It's like, why do it? There's already candelabra. All the new energy guidelines just said you can't have high wattage. It didn't say you can't have wattage. So a chandelier with 100 4-watt candelabra lamps is still stinking powerful.
Oh, yeah.
And needs dimming, and it looks gorgeous.
Yep. So are you predicting a resurgence of chandeliers? Because, during the late 70s, early 80s, that was the fashion thing. That was not fashion, but whatever the word is, when you design a room, like all the churches had the big chandeliers. And
it's still happening, but the neat thing about chandeliers is a chandelier is just a method of supporting a lamp, right? And there are modern...
artistically way of supporting.
Postmodern, yes. Oh, it's art. It's beauty. We just assisted in hanging a chandelier at that same school in the lobby, which was just 5 circles with candelabra bulbs around it. Gorgeous, gorgeous fixture. Again, not LED. Needed dimming. Needed control. 2 old-time sconces on the wall with really beautiful metalwork and cut glass on it. Again, needed a dimmer. So... okay, let's talk about the AR602 and 1202.
Which are really, even though it's an older technology, they're probably the most modern version of that kind of technology with what it's capable of.
They are. They're not the old, ugly, full rack dimmers.
Yeah.
These mount against the wall. They're very, very efficient. Everything is done on the face of it with a touch screen. Well, it's not a touch screen. I'm sorry. It's an
LCD.
LCD screen with some buttons, but you can run it as a single phase, 3-phase, So if your building's three-phase, it's ready for that. If you don't have three-phase, it'll work on single-phase. All those settings are on the face. If you need it to turn on fans and off, you can do fans on it. What you do is you set it to a relay mode.
Function,
so channel 1 and 2 may be fans. Trigger those as relays. Channels 3 and 4 and 5 are dimmers. Set those as dimmers.
What he's telling you there is it's completely programmable.
Yep, every channel is customizable. You can set limits on a channel too. If I don't want this light to ever get past a certain point, I can go into the dimmer and tell it 80% is max. So it doesn't matter what you do with your DMX. That is the max on that channel.
Yep.
Electricians like it because it wires up like a sub panel, real easy to put in. You mount it, you have your feeders, you have your load, just like a sub panel. So if you're an electrician or you know electrical, you'll understand what I'm talking about. If you don't, it doesn't matter. You're not going to be installing it by yourself anyway. Also has remote station capability built right in. All you do is you run a 2-wire switch into it. You can anything, and you can program those remote stations to any scene you want to create within it, only within it. It doesn't control anything else. So you can do a toggle up for all lights on, toggle down for all lights off, run another one to another entrance, and maybe it only lights up a hallway or anything you'd like to do.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we've rambled on and off about dimming. So is dimming dead? Mostly. But not completely.
No, it's just different too. It's different now.
It is different in a really good way.
Things change, times change.
Yeah, you can get creative with it now and use it to add beauty. When LEDs are the efficient way of providing light, dimming adds beauty.
Well, and if you got Christmas trees on your stage at a church, you can put them on the dimmers if you have and it is a really great effect to be able to use.
Yeah, to control it. And of course, this video will be shown long after Christmas and before Christmas. We just happen to be shooting it here at Christmas time.
And we celebrate here. We're not shy. This is a good place to work. We enjoy the holidays.
We've never been shy.
No.
Thanks for saying it's a good place to work. I like it here.
Yes, it's a great place to work.
Yeah, I feel for those people who do the same thing day in and day out, and when it ends, you have to start all over again.
Yeah.
Here, it's every day is different.
Yeah. Oh, it's different, all right.
Yeah, we get to have fun. We get to eat a lot. So.
Some of your guys' requests kind of make us like, what? How are we going to do that? But we figure it out.
Yeah, we pull it off.
We figure it out.
Anyway, thanks for watching. Please be sure to like this video and subscribe at the bottom. Help spread the good news that we're here. And we do take great care of our customers because we care. Yep. Thanks.